Ukraine is still standing. This war is about money. People don't talk much about it. But you know the richest country in all of Europe for rare earth minerals is Ukraine. $2 to $7 trillion worth of minerals that are rare earth minerals, very relevant to the 21st century. Ukraine's ready to do a deal with us, not the Russians. So it's in our interest to make sure that Russia doesn't take over the place. It's the breadbasket of really the developing world. 50% of all the food going to Africa comes out of Ukraine. We can make money and have an economic relationship with Ukraine that'd be very beneficial to us with peace. So Donald Trump's going to do a deal to get our money back, to enrich ourselves with rare earth minerals, a good deal for Ukraine and us, and he's going to bring peace. And Biden's been a disaster when it comes to containing bad guys.
This is my video update on this Monday afternoon, November the 25th, coming to you from Athens, Greece. Let's talk about some news. Monday afternoon, early evening in Athens, Greece. And Le Monde, the French publication, is running with a story that claims Macron and Starmer are talking about sending French and British troops into Ukraine to fight the Russian military. We're back to this one. The French and British troops. We've been through this before multiple times, about 2-3 times. We've run through this story, this news cycle about Macron and also the UK sending troops to Ukraine, to ODYSEE, to act as a deterrent force against a Russian advance. When in reality, what these troops, if they were to be sent, I don't know what troops the UK has to send. France may have a couple of troops lying around. But the reality is that if this decision was to be taken, not in Paris, not in London, but in DC, they would make the ultimate decision, the US, that these forces would act as some sort of a tripwire. They would effectively be soldiers sent to their annihilation so that the US can get pulled into the conflict, so that NATO can get pulled into the war. The troops would go to Ukraine, the Russian military would annihilate these forces, and then Macron and Starmer would run to Bidenopolis. I guess it would be Biden. They would run to Bidenopolis and they would be crying to him, look what Russia did to us. Russia continues to escalate. We sent troops to Ukraine and Russia annihilated these troops. Article 5, Article 5, Article 5. That would be the plan if this were to happen. Who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe it will happen. They're getting so desperate and they're in such a panic that maybe the U.S. will tell France and the UK to send soldiers to Ukraine. Russia has said it from day one that any foreign fighters in Ukraine are considered legitimate targets. Military, mercenary, whatever. So anyway, that is what Le Monde is reporting. We'll see what will come out of this story. Like I said, we've been through this multiple times, and every time that this narrative has been published about French troops in Ukraine, France has walked it back. This time around, it may be different, but it's not going to change Russia's position with regards to foreign troops in Ukraine. They will be considered legitimate targets. So anyway, that is what Le Monde is reporting. Let's move on to Romania. And we had elections in Romania. The first round of elections took place yesterday. And we saw a bit of a surprise. The far right candidate won the first round of the elections with what was it, 22 or 23% of the vote. The far right. He's far right. His name is Călin Georgescu. Călin Georgescu. And he is, according to the collective West mainstream media, far right. Putin puppet, far right. No one was expecting him to win the first round. But from what I understand, he used social media, especially TikTok, effectively. And there are many sane and rational people in Romania who do not want to see the country pulled into a conflict with Russia. And so they voted for Georgescu, but his policies are actually very, from what I understand, I don't know the candidate too well. I haven't been following the elections in Romania too closely, but from what I understand, his policies are quite rational. He's pro-Romania. He wants to look after the best interests of the country. This is my understanding of Georgescu. First of all, he's very smart. Of his background, I believe he's I want to say he's got a PhD or he's a professor, but he's a very intelligent guy. And his policies are Romania first, very pro-farmer. And if I'm getting something wrong, I apologize in advance. People from Romania, in the comments down below, you can let everyone in the community know exactly what's going on here with the elections in Romania. But pro-Romania, pro-farmer, anti-war. I don't want to say he's anti-NATO or anti-EU. Maybe he is, but he's definitely not for the globalist ideology. At least that's my understanding of him. And so, you know, if you're pro-farmer, pro your country's interests, and you're not so hot on the globalist ideology, the globalist religion, well, then you're far right. You're far right. Putin puppet, they're saying. Putin puppet. That's right. They're freaking out, the collective West media. We have a round two that is going to take place, I believe, either next week or in 2 weeks. I don't know if he'll win, but we'll see. We will see. He's up against the brave, the stunning and brave EU candidate. I forgot her name. Lorraine something or Elena Lasconi. And she's uber pro EU, uber pro globalist. Your typical Maya Sandu, Kaya Kallas, Macron, Trudeau, Mark Rutte, cookie cutter, Klaus Schwab, assembly line candidate. I would imagine that the powers that be are going to put everything they have into making sure that she wins in the second round. But the BBC, their title, following this shock win from Georgescu, is far-right candidate poised for shock win in Romania presidential election. Politico, they have a title, Romania election stunner, unexpected hard right. He's not even far right, he's hard right. Candidate surges in presidential vote. Ultra-nationalist Călin Georgescu comes from nowhere to win first round as liberal Elena Lasconi closes in on second place. And I believe the Financial Times, one sec, they also had the title, Pro-Russia hard right candidate tops Romanian presidential poll. First round victory for Călin Georgescu shakes political establishment. That's right. That's right. It has shaken the political establishment. I can't believe there's someone in Romania, a politician in Romania, that doesn't want to destroy the country. How is this possible? How is this possible? How did this guy get through the system? A candidate who comes in first place that supports farmers? What's going on here? Financial Times, they threw everything in there. He's pro-Russia hard right candidate. That's their title. Oh my God. BBC's like, far right. Okay, we'll start off with far right. Politico then says a Romanian hard right candidate. So far right to hard right to the Financial Times, they're just going all in. Pro-Russia hard right candidate. Yeah. Anyway, good luck, Mr. Georgescu. Don't know much about you, but you sound all right to me. You don't sound hard right or far right. You sound all right. You sound all right. It'll be amazing if he wins, but I don't expect that to happen. But who knows? Who knows what's gonna come about? People in Romania who have a better feel for this situation, add your comments down below. I'm very interested to see what you think is going to happen. So moving on to The Economist, Neocon Central, known as The Economist, they put out an article where they claim that the Ukraine military is tired. They're very tired, and they're ready for a ceasefire, even if it means giving up territory. That is what The Economist is reporting. Their article has the title, Ukraine's warriors brace for a Kremlin surge in the south. Vladimir Putin's war machine is pushing harder and crushing Ukrainian morale. Putin's war machine crushing Ukrainian morale. In this article, they talk about how Russia is gearing up for an offensive in the Kursk, not the Kursk, what am I saying? In the Zaporozhye area, and Ukraine's forces have a low morale in this area because of the commitment to Kursk, right? So all of the elite forces, they're all up in Kursk, getting annihilated by the Russian military, and the forces in Zaporozhye, they're exhausted, they're tired, their morale is low, and they don't have the elite forces. The Economist is saying that the soldiers in the Zaporozhye area are 50 years old and higher, and they're not anywhere close to ready to take on the Russians, the Russian military, should this offensive in Zaporozhye actually take place. We don't know if this is what's going to happen. Russia launching an offensive in Zaporozhye, but it's possible. It could happen. Let me read you some of what The Economist is saying. Ukrainian intelligence believes that Russia is gearing up for a bold assault on Zaporozhye city, 30 kilometers from the front. When exactly, no one is clear, but it makes some sense. As one of 3 remaining centers of heavy industry in the country, the provincial capital remains crucial to Ukraine's survival as a functioning state. The Economist then goes on to say that Ukraine's problems, meanwhile, are worsening, mainly because of manpower issues. And they say this, they actually throw in this sentence that Ukraine's problems are worsening because of manpower issues. Right before they say this, they talk about how the Russian military is just being ground down by the Ukraine military, because they always have to throw in that line about how Russia's losing 1,500 soldiers a day, or 2,500 soldiers a day, or 500,000 soldiers a day, whatever. They always have to throw that in there before they admit that Ukraine is suffering from a manpower shortage, manpower issues. They can't recruit. No one wants to join the military. Their soldiers are either trapped in cauldrons or they're stuck in Kursk. They're being annihilated by the Russian military. They always have to preface it by saying that Russia's losing X amount of soldiers every day. It's kind of like as long as it takes, or this was a brutal, unprovoked war by Russia. This is now the standard line that you have to throw in there before you admit Ukraine's manpower problems. The script writers, they've made it required that you talk about Russia's manpower losses before you talk about Ukraine's manpower losses. Compulsory that you add these types of paragraphs in there. Anyway, what else does The Economist say? It interviewed some people on the ground Ukraine soldiers on the ground, and this is what one of them said. I'm being sent guys, 50 plus, with doctor's notes, telling me they are too ill to serve. He says, at times it feels like I'm managing a daycare center rather than a combat unit. Ukraine's systemic weakness is clearly taking its toll on the morale of its frontline fighters, with no hope for rotation or demobilization. Some of the once most committed now wonder if a ceasefire might be the only way out. And then The Economist says the final sentence, final paragraph. It says that Lemberg puts the situation in even starker terms as one of the Ukraine. I think there's one of the Ukraine soldiers that they interviewed, Lemberg. In 2022, I was ready to tear the Russians apart with my teeth, he says. In 2023, I just needed rest. This year, I almost couldn't give an F. That's the article from The Economist. The Guardian, they're running an article saying that Trump's plan to Russia in order to end the conflict in Ukraine is going to be an offer he can't refuse. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. That is what Trump is going to tell Putin, according to The Guardian. It's all nonsense, by the way. It's all speculation and nonsense. But anyway, the offer is going to be Russia can take Ukraine, can pretty much do what it wants with Ukraine, as long as it promises to leave China. I'm going to make Putin an offer he can't refuse. I'm going to tell him, look, Mr. Putin, I will give you anything you want in Ukraine. I will give you all of Ukraine. But you have to do me a favor. You have to break off this relationship with China. Okay? Those script writers. Who knows? Maybe this is Trump's offer. I don't know. I don't know, man. My thinking is that this is just more creative writing that is taking place in Hollywood and then handed off to The Guardian. Creative writing taking place in London, I guess, and handed off to The Guardian. The Wall Street Journal, they have an article talking about how the ATACMS are going to hit air bases in Russia. Rostov-on-Don airfields in the Rostov region. The title of the Wall Street Journal's article is Ukraine's Western missiles threaten big Russian assets, airports, ammo depots, and command headquarters. Right, because Russia has no air defense around their air bases. They have no air defense, period. So those ATACMS are gonna get through, and then the Russian military is not ready for ATACMS. It's not like they haven't been facing ATACMS for the past 2 years in Ukraine or in Crimea or anywhere else. It's these ATACMS are new to Russia. ATACMS, Storm Shadows. They've never faced off against such weapons from the collective West. And forget about the fact that even the Pentagon is saying that Russia has moved 90% of their important military assets out of the range of ATACMS. Just forget about all of that, Wall Street Journal, and let's just focus on how the wonder weapon, ATACMS, long-range missile, Storm Shadows, green light permission thing, which is the new wonder weapon, how it's going to take out air bases and airfields and commander headquarters and whatever. Whatever the collective West can throw at Russia, Russia can throw it back 100 times more powerfully. Right? Is that a word? More powerfully? Yeah. That's the Wall Street Journal. Zelensky, by the way, wants THAAD's air defense system, because according to Zelensky, the THAAD, I believe there's only like 6 or 8 THAAD systems, and 2 of them I think have been given to Israel or something like that. But according to Zelensky, the THAAD can take out the nut. The THAAD can break the nut, the Orezhnik. No, it can't. No, it can't. But Zelensky now wants THAADs. And then the Pentagon has told him no. At least those are the reports that are coming out. No to the THAADs. But we are getting reports of the JSAMs. I believe that is going to be coming. And we are hearing some whispers of Tomahawks. But the Russians will handle all of this. They will handle the JSAMs. They will handle the Tomahawks. And then the nut is going to get to work. This is the dangerous escalation we are on. So, we've heard a lot about the North Korean troops in Kursk, huh? And now they're building the new narrative about Houthis in Kursk. But we've never seen an actual North Korean soldier captured, or I don't know. We haven't seen anything, video, image, to prove that there are North Koreans or Houthis in Kursk. Haven't seen one bit of evidence. Nothing at all. But what we did see yesterday is a UK mercenary who was captured by the Russian military in Kursk. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The video is out there. The interview, all of it's out there. And I just find it interesting that we've been given a narrative over the past 4 months about 10,000 North Korean troops, and 50,000 and 100,000. 100,000 North Korean troops were rumored to be heading towards Kursk or fighting in Kursk, whatever. And not one North Korean has turned up in any video or any photo. And yesterday, probably not by chance. I don't know. Something tells me that the Russians timed this. We saw videos of this UK citizen who was fighting inside of Russia. Inside of Russia. He's lucky he got captured, actually, because mercenaries are deemed, I believe, by international law. I think that mercenaries don't have, I could be wrong about this, but I don't think they have any rights or any protection. I don't know. I'm not sure about how the Geneva Convention, if it applies to mercenaries during wartime. I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. And sticking with the UK, there is a petition which has now reached over 2.2 million, 2.3 million. It's probably a lot more now as I'm recording my video. It started off this morning at 1.3 million, and 2 hours ago it was at 2 million. And I imagine it's probably at 2.3 or 2.5 million, calling for an election in the UK, for a general election to be discussed in the UK for Starmer to go. And this is just in 24 hours, pretty much. This petition has really taken off. Call a general election is the petition. It's a UK government and parliament petition. If it gets over 100,000 votes, it has to be discussed, I believe, in parliament. I think that's how it goes. It says, I would like there to be another general election. I believe the current Labour government have gone back on the promises they laid out in the lead up to the last election. Sign this petition. Parliament will consider this for debate. Parliament considers all petitions that get more than 100,000 signatures for a debate. That's a lot more than 100,000 signatures. And this is why you have articles like the one in Le Monde talking about how Starmer and Macron are kicking around the idea of British troops in Ukraine, French and British troops in Ukraine. Starmer has absolutely nothing positive to give the people of the UK. Nothing positive to give them. He's done nothing positive for the citizens of the UK. And so what has he cooked up? What has his team cooked up? His globalist backers? They've cooked up escalation with Russia. If we don't have anything good or positive to give to the citizens, let's give them a whole lot of negative, catastrophic negative, take their attention away from the incompetence that is the Starmer government. Not going to work. So that's the update with Starmer. Let's do a clown world. Do I have a clown world for today? Let's see. Is Cyprus looking to join NATO? Is that a clown world? That could probably be considered a clown world. I don't know if this reporting is true. Coming from the very pro-globalist, pro-EU media outlet Kathimerini, they are reporting that the Cypriot president, when he was in DC meeting with Bidenopoulos, he pitched Cyprus membership into NATO. I don't know if this is true, so let's wait and see if we get some comment or statement from the Cypriot government, and then I'll talk about this if it is indeed true. But if it is true, then that is a huge clown world, because Cyprus should not be anywhere near NATO. That's my opinion there. A clown world. Let's see. How about the Axios CEO having a meltdown at the fact that Elon Musk said that the mainstream media is no longer the media, right? Elon Musk actually says this a lot. He says, you are the media. He always posts this on X. You are the media, as in all of us. We are now the media, using Twitter and posting on Twitter. And the Axios CEO, he had an absolute freak out over this message that Elon Musk continues to post on X. There's a video of him having this meltdown, so maybe I'll play the video of Axios CEO. I don't even know this dude's name. Yeah, they're freaking out, man. Here's the video.
Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media, you are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter any more than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon, right? Like what we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East. You don't proclaim yourself to be a reporter. Like that's nonsense. Like being a reporter is hard, really hard. You have to care. You have to do the hard work. You have to get up every single day and say, I want to get to the closest approximation of the truth without any fear, without any favoritism. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everybody. Whoa.
All right, that is the Axios CEO having a meltdown as he sees his mainstream media empire, as he sees the mainstream media empire and control of the information space and propaganda melt away. That is why he's freaking out. Anyway, that's the video. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch, like the jacket I'm wearing today is a Duran logo jacket. You will find a link to the Duran shop in the description box down below. Take care, and to Kim.com, get some rest and get well. Take care.